Hi, everyone. Welcome to our media call with Desiree Scott from Canada Soccer Women's National Team. Desiree, thank you for being with us today. I wanted to ask you, how do you think how do you hope the Olympic Games can help inspire our nation in 2021, especially after the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, the Olympic Games are something truly so special and something that really unites the entire world. And for us to be going there this summer and in less than 3 weeks' time, I think it's just such an incredible opportunity for us to inspire a nation, especially after such a difficult year for all Canadians, the entire world. Just to go out there and show our bravery, our resilience, and hopefully give people in Canada something to get up for, to get excited about, and show them that sort of renewed passion and be a light and an inspiration for people who watch our team. You know, we've had to bounce back through tough years, and to show that resilience and our strength and our bravery to go out and perform after a difficult year. Hopefully people can find some joy in what we're doing on the field and really inspire people to hope for a better year.
Thank you. What can you tell us about some of the experience in the squad, and what can this team do to change the color of the medal?
Yeah, that's been our theme leading up to these Olympics, is changing the color of the medal. You know, we've gotten on the podium back to back, and we want to do that again this summer, but obviously be at the top of that podium. And we have a wealth of experience within the group. We have a Christine Sinclair, this will be her fourth Olympics. It's my third. You know, some of those veteran players who have really been to a few games. Then we've got a few of our young vets who have had Olympics beforehand, and then some who are completely new. So we've got a blend in the group, but I think just a fantastic balance of people who are coming to bring that fire and have that first Olympic experience, but those who have been there before, who know what it takes to grow through a tournament and the challenges it will take. So for us, it's just about being brave, believing in ourselves 100%. And I think we're all just so hungry to get out there and have a major tournament, something to look forward to challenge ourselves and prove after a hard year that we can bounce back and do the job we've set out to do.
Start with Post Media. Ted, go ahead with a two-part question from the top, please.
Hi, Desiree. Can you tell us a little bit about what your training has been like during the pandemic, and how you've managed to keep at a level that you need to be at for an Olympic Games?
Yeah, so for those who know my story, I kind of missed out on Challenge Cup time when the NWSL, I had some family commitments that needed me to be home. And so I was training out of my basement for 8 months leading into the She Believes Cup in 2021. And I had to get creative. I invested in fitness equipment, a treadmill, the weights, a punching bag, all of those sort of things to try and make my environment the best it could be. I had fantastic support from the Canadian national team to provide me a program with the equipment that I had. And they really just adapted things to what I had in a 5x5 sort of space and the equipment I had necessary. So it was challenging for sure at times, but like I said, I couldn't have done it without the support and of my teammates and my support staff here with the national team. So yeah.
And just you talked about wanting to change the color of the medal. What's going to be the key to doing that?
It's going to be a challenge, 100%. I think for us, it's showing up every single day leading into this preparation, going into our first match of the games. And we are going to need the best from everyone on the pitch, on the bench, everyone involved to be at their absolute best and really flying on all cylinders. But I think it's that belief and that commitment to really close off a game and finish our opportunities. I think that's going to be our X factor. We've seen that we can create, and now it's just about capitalizing on those big moments in game to really solidify the match for us.
Ellie from CJOB, please.
Thanks very much. Great to see you, Desi. What I wanted to ask you is, and you mentioned how the team has kind of evolved a little bit with the makeup for 2020, if I could use that terminology. How much has the landscape changed, though, from 2012 and 2016 to now, as far as accomplishing that goal of getting to the top of the podium?
Of course, yeah. The landscape has completely changed. You know, 2012, we had one team, one roster, one sort of way of playing. And our team has just adapted our style of play, our technicians on the ball, and just our confidence going forward in our attack. And I think you can see that as it grows. We're not just a defensive team. We are a team that can attack and be a threat going forward. Obviously, the makeup of the team, you have that core group, but it's starting to dwindle. You're seeing those new faces, those hungry players who are coming into their first Olympic Games, and the future really of what Canada Soccer will be. And it's exciting. Our blend continues to evolve and adapt. And I think with each Olympic Games, we're finding a unique blend that's really true to who we need to be successful on that podium.
Harjeet, would you like to go with the next question, please?
Thank you, Richard. Thanks, Desiree, for doing this today. It's great to see you. Good luck over in Tokyo. My question is, what's been the key to the strong play in the midfield this year for Canada, specifically yourself, Quinn, and Fleming? Canada's racked up a lot of clean sheets so far. What's been the key for the defensive performance there, and how do you carry that going into the Olympics? Thank you.
Yeah, I think credit to our entire team for wanting to have those clean sheets. I think first and foremost, we pride ourselves on being that defensive rock and being very hard to beat. Our back line, our midfield really thrive on being that defensive, sort of to withhold any, opposition coming at us. And I think within the midfield, we pride ourselves on being, the glue between our forward and our attack, and really having to do the work going forward, but also defensively. And I think it's just the confidence continues to build. We're building those partnerships. We're allowing people to really truly be themselves, and both offensively and defensively. And you're just starting to see things click in the right time, especially coming into this year, being hungry and knowing we have to bring our best each game.
Thank you very much. Stuart, please, from Stuart Graydon.
Hi, Desiree. You maybe touched on it already, but what most excites you about this squad personally? What does it have that it maybe didn't have in the past? What kind of X factor might there be?
Yeah, I think I've spoken about it before, but I think our X factor is our connection and our ability to really want to play for one another, go tooth and nail, go to battle, go to war for one another. I think our love for each other off field really showcases our hard work and dedication on the pitch. And what excites me most about this Olympic Games and the roster is just, again, that blend across the last two Olympics. We've got the veteran players in Sinky, myself, Steph Labbe, Aaron McLeod, all of those veterans who have been there. And then you have our young veterans, as I said, who had been at Rio and had an Olympic Games under their belt. And then that fire that we've brought in with some of the new players who this will be their first Olympic Games. So we've got that experience mixed with that really just passion to go and show the world what you can do on an Olympic stage. And I think that blend and that hunger to show that is really been integral to our success so far this year.
Thank you very much. That's great.
Thank you very much. Sandra Persina, please.
Thanks, Richard. Hey, Desiree, looking back to 2012, that seemed kind of like a redemption for the World Cup the year before. And then you look at 2016 in Rio, and it was back-to-back Olympic medals. Tokyo 2020, what is this for you? What is this for the team as you look for this third Olympics?
Yeah, for us, I think this is the games showing our bounce back ability, our resilience as individuals and as a team. And as a nation, really, we've had a very hard year being apart from one another, having to do our own thing, training in our individual environments, having to battle, the lack of motivation and the days where you maybe didn't want to do your workouts, to then now having Olympic Games so soon. I think for us, it's showing that we can beat adversity, we can be resilient, and we can perform on that international stage. And for us, it is about getting on the top of that podium. And the next 39 days, we've talked about it in a team meeting. It's making every day count leading into this games, through it, and just enjoying every moment, the highs, the lows of it all. And we think if we focus on that and really just believe in ourselves 100% and make every day count, that we'll be successful at this games.
Thanks, Desiree. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Laura Armstrong, please.
Hey, Desiree, thanks very much for taking the time. You mentioned just now, talking about those days when you're just not motivated to do anything. And I think that over the course of this past year, everybody can relate to that. I wonder what it means to you to now be here and be preparing for another Olympics after the past year that we had. Do you feel any different, do you think, compared to what you would have felt going into the Olympics last year?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think just you feel so grateful for the opportunity. We didn't know if this games would even happen, and to know now that it's like literally within grasp and so many days away, it's coming so soon. I think just that feeling of gratefulness and appreciation for the sport, for the opportunity that we get to go out and represent our country on the international, one of the biggest stages. And I think we're just relishing in those moments. We're just so happy to be together again. And I think that's felt throughout the entire squad. And just, again, that renews that passion and fire to really want to put in the work and make our nation and our country proud.
Thank you very much. Sydney, please.
Hey, Desiree, it's Sydney from the Times newspaper in Winnipeg. Related to the previous question, I just wanted to ask what you've been doing to maintain that positive mental energy or stamina needed to prepare for the games this summer. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty positive person overall, and I can definitely say over this last year, that it's been a roller coaster for sure, for myself, for everybody, I'm sure, in the world, on our team especially. What's been so fortunate for me is that I've had a fantastic support system and network and circle who had my back through the highs and lows of this past year. And recognizing that we really are all in this together, and having those group chats and the WhatsApp groups, and just staying connected in that way, and supporting one another through the hard days, through the good days, just being able to have people to talk to, my teammates, my family, my friends, and knowing now that we had something, sort of a goal to look forward to, has helped the mindset as well, to stay positive, knowing that we have an opportunity ahead of us. And yeah, just knowing that we're so lucky and fortunate to be able to do this. So trying to stay positive and enjoy every moment.
Jeremy, please.
Well, how meaningful is it for you to open up the Olympic Games? This is going to be one of the very first events at the Olympics. And how meaningful is it for you to open up the Games?
Totally. I think especially after postponement, to be able to open up the games is just going to be an incredible moment to remember, especially playing the host nation. What a game to get up for. Start of the Olympic Games against the host. And I think that's just an incredible moment that we'll cherish and remember. And I think one that we can get really excited for. It's an opportunity to start the tournament off strong, and really showcase who we are as a team and how we want to play throughout the tournament. And obviously playing against the host nation, it's exciting. Our pool is not easy. The Japanese are a very technical, talented team, and we're going to have to be at our best. So yeah, it's definitely exciting, and just a great opportunity for us moving through that tournament.
Go ahead, Janice.
Hi, Desiree. I'm wondering what you're envisioning the experience to be in the stadiums with these Olympics, given that these are COVID Olympics, compared to your other two experiences.
Yeah, great question. Our mental trainer has provided us with some information to try and visualize, what you had expected a games to be, what we have experienced in the past, and the realities of this Olympics and what it's actually going to be like, and potentially not having fans cheering you on, that roar that you hear within the crowd and that energy you really feel within a stadium. So it's definitely going to be different. And I think we've started to switch our mindset to that already, to prepare, so we're not surprised. And I think, yeah, it's just finding our own motivation. I personally thrive off a big crowd and stadium in those moments. So I think we're going to have to look to one another to really raise our standard and fuel our fire to perform at the highest level in those moments, for sure.
Thank you very much. And Laura Armstrong, please.
Hey, Desiree, thanks again for doing this. Of course, you and Sophie have built a bond, I think, on the field that, we could all see seemed very natural, considering the amount of time that you spent together. Going into this games with, other midfield partners, of course, you've been around to sort of see them grow and be introduced to this team, but do you have to be more intentional about the bonds that you're building, given you haven't spent as much time playing together on the field?
Totally. I think in this pre-Olympic camp that we're providing over the past camps that we've had the start of the year, you're really starting to see that midfield connection grow in a bunch of different partnerships. We've tried different lineups, we've tried different rotations, and really just the potential of who might be playing again alongside one another. But I think, you know, our connection is strong no matter who you put on that field. We all want to be our best and perform for one another and for our country. So I think the hard work and the base layers of everything will be there. It's then just realizing each other's tendencies, who's going high, who's going low, those little things. But I feel quite confident with our mixture of midfielders that whoever's out there on the pitch and whatever combination, it's going to be a success.
Great. Thank you for the insight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Desi. Thank you very much, everyone, for taking part in this pre-Olympic camp media call with our women's national team and looking forward, of course, to the Olympic Games coming up. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.